Good morning, and thank you for waking up with Haley on this lovely day. Today we have a special guest. We have Dr. Nick Holmes with us today.
How are you doing today,
I'm
Miss Haley?
doing great. How are you doing?
Very nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you. So, you're a pediatrician.
I am.
And how long have you been a pediatrician for?
I've been doing pediatrician work for 5 years now.
Okay, and you like it?
I do.
All right, that's good.
Very challenging.
I hear you. Being a doctor is challenging. So, as you may know, our show is an advice-giving show. So we take in what our viewers want to see, and that's kind of what we give them. So a lot of our viewers have been concerned about vaccinations. It's kind of a big thing right now.
Yes.
So I'm about to be a new mom, so I definitely know how scary a lot of the parents feel.
Well, congratulations
Thank
to you.
And you're a pediatrician, so we're kind of going to show them the pros and the cons. Of course, you'll give the pros because you're for vaccinations, because you do get vaccinations. And then I'm going to show the cons because as a new mom, I have been looking at that kind of stuff. And
it could be a very scary process.
Yes. Okay, so for me, I believe that I've carried this child for 9 months. I've been through it all. So I believe that it is my personal choice that I should get to make whether my baby does get these vaccinations or not. I think as far as it being my baby and, you know, me and my husband being the parents, we should get to make that decision if, you know, our child does get the vaccination.
There are very many pros and cons. One of the cons, though, that might support your cause here is that the government actually requires children to have vaccinations. In my opinion, they do a lot of good. We vaccinate for chickenpox, whooping cough, rubella. Just naming a few off the top of my head here, but
okay, but you say chickenpox, and you say, you know,
yes,
polio. I mean, that's kind of back in the olden days that you hear about people having polio. But okay, the chickenpox and the whooping cough. Now, I hear a lot of people do still have the whooping cough and the chickenpox.
The vaccinations are not 100%, and even oftentimes there are.
And I know a year ago, my niece, when she was 1 year old, she actually had the whooping cough, but she had already had shots for the whooping cough, but she still got it.
Like I said, they are not 100% effective.
Correct. So what these people are telling me is that I have to, if I'm taking them to a pediatrician, I have to have them injected with that stuff, with all those chemicals and stuff like that, and they could still get it. So I'm still putting them at risk, but they could have it anyway.
You say risk. There are risks that comes with vaccinations because it is a small amount of the virus, the weakened virus,
Right.
that is put into your system. However, the risks are very rare, and adverse reactions are not very common. But then again, it's still not 100% effective, and there's no real way to know what is in the vaccinations.
Correct. And then I also have another point that I'd like to make. So like the CDC and all these people making the pharmaceutical companies and everybody making these, how can you trust that they're really putting in the right stuff? Like, how can you trust them? Because, I mean, they could mess up, and then what happens with your child? I mean, it's such a big risk because there's 28 doses of 10 different vaccines from 0 to 6. So all those doses that your child's getting, how do you know that they're all...
They are, all vaccines are approved by the CDC, and they are proven to be safe.
Okay.
So they have been
So
tested.
are you telling me they check every vaccine that comes through there? You know how many shots that is?
They do. They test each strain of medicine, but not.
But not every shot in that little bottle that gets sent out that they inject into the child.
correct.
Okay. So technically, when I take my little Benjamin to the doctor, and he's getting 5 shots, those months that he goes, it's kind of like let's just see how it affects him. Let's just see if he gets a really bad rash, or so there's no way to predict what these vaccines are going to do to your body.
There is no way to. Each person is different.
Right.
Each person with medicine is
so
different.
You could get a vaccine
In my
and
opinion,
be okay.
Yes.
And I could get a vaccine and my body's not really meant for that vaccine, and I could get really sick.
That is true, but when the what I'm trying to say here is the I just blew it.
So, okay. So, I understand. So what about for religious people? So what about okay, in your office? So a lot of different religions believe different things, and sometimes they can think it's immortal to put that medicine in their body. Okay, so what would you do if someone came to you with a religious?
Under law, if they would have to sign a religion release form,
right,
so to say. But
now does the school but still you go through all that to support your religion instead of it just being okay for your child not to be vaccinated. So you have to go through a lot just because you don't want that medicine being put in you. And I understand that the chemical makeup of some of those have formaldehyde and stuff in it. And I mean, that's scary to think that that's just injected in a little baby's body because their immune system's not that great.
It is not, but if the risk is greater, of you being sick from not taking the vaccination, it's always better to treat than be untreated.
Right. So I guess it's just a very scary process, and I guess it's someone telling you that you have to do this to your body. And I think that's where a lot of it comes into play, because I still think it should be a personal choice.
I understand, and I wish you luck on the choices that you're going to be making with vaccinations and all. And I really appreciate you having me on the show.
Thank you. Everyone give it up for Dr. Nick Holmes. Thank you, doctor. All right, and we will see you after this break.